All right, another edition of Rod's Random Reviews, not planned or anything. I got this NATO watch band that looks pretty cool, kind of a James Bond looking thing, 007. And I had this Daytona looking Pagani design watch, which is pretty cool. It's one of the smaller, I don't know what it is, 30 something millimeters, 39 maybe. It's not a 41 or 2 or 3. It's a smaller one. You can kind of see there. But the problem is taking off these bracelets. And so you have these spring loads here. And buddy, are they up in there tight. So you have to have one of these little tools here. You know, if you get one online, Amazon or whatever, you got the larger one for the bigger watches, and then this is the little tiny one. So what you have to do is go into that little opening, should have made a video of it, and work and work and work until you get that spring load to come out. So that is very, very hard to do. Doing this with two hands here. So you can see when this is in place, see that very small opening there? That small opening is where you have to place this tool. Now, if you have a tiny, tiny screwdriver, you might be able to get it in that hole right there and do something with it. But chances are you need one of these tools right here to be able to go into that hole right there and move it out. So that's part one. So now what we're going to do, that's the hard part. It's funny, I watched a couple of YouTube videos, and the one guy said, if you get frustrated, go get a shot of whiskey, walk around the house and come back. Because I was about to give up, and then I went and got a light here that I hooked up to my computer here. This is just a USB light that, if you want to see your keyboard at night. Anyway, we're not reviewing a Goal Zero light tonight. Is that what it is? Goal Zero light. You touch it, it goes on and off. But anyway, yeah, there you have it. Touch it, touch it. So you want some light so you can see what you're doing there. So there's part one. Now I got to put these spring loads back in there and then put this all-inclusive thing back in here. So the idea is that you will not have any metal touching the skin. And if one of these spring loads goes bad, this will still be on your wrist and you won't lose your watch. Okay, once you get this done, it was hard to do with just two hands, but you can use this spring bar tool to put the spring bar in there. So it's a lot easier to do without the strap being in the way or the bracelet being in the way. So you just kind of lay the spring bar there, take the spring bar tool and push it down and put it into place. So if you don't have a spring bar tool, you can pick them up on Amazon for pennies, 99 cents or something, or a whole kit for, $9 or something like that. But yeah, the spring bar tool, but the next step is to get these spring bars back in place and make sure that... Okay, here we are with the NATO strap installed. And you can kind of see it's 2 layers of the nylon below. So what we did was we input the long piece of the NATO strap through here, and then we just looped back the shorter end, looped this through there. Then it's just a matter of putting it on your wrist. So it's not necessarily intuitively obvious the first time you do it, probably should have done this with it on a handle, but I might have bored you with the tries I had here because I had to loop it and then kind of take a look at it and slide these around to kind of level them up. But there's the NATO strap. Now the idea is if one of these pins comes loose, it'll still stay on your wrist because it's doubled right here. And if you see James Bond, Craig, the latest James Bond movie, he's wearing a Rolex, Omega, my bad, Omega with a NATO strap. Now this NATO strap came with my Pagani watch, and it's not very long. Some of the NATO straps that I'm seeing, they even double back right there. See how that one's just barely coming through? Which is fine, but what some of the people are doing, it is so long, they have like an extra 2 inches, so they loop it back one more time and have a bunch of extra strap stuff going on there. But there's what the NATO strap looks like. Again, it's going to take a little patience working with all this. I do recommend that you buy yourself a little kit, a little watch kit. You know, if you're going to be messing with some watches, they're only, $10 or so on Amazon. And, you get a lot of tools, a little elf's hammer to put some of those pins back in, and that sort of thing. So there you have it, folks. Playing around with these Pagani watches, Pagani design watches. This one is more like a 42 millimeter, maybe. It's kind of like the Explorer 2 Rolex. And this one, I can't get them side by side right there, but this one is more like the Daytona Rolex. It's got the same functionality as a Daytona Rolex. So there you have it. Thanks for watching Rod's Random Reviews. These stainless steel bracelets are pretty cool. I may wind up putting this one back on. We'll see. But that's how they come, folks. In a, Pagani box here. Pagani design. And there you have it. But once you do get the NATO strap on, I guess if you had a longer one, it wouldn't matter if you had a friend with a skinny wrist or a friend with a thick wrist, they could borrow your watch and you wouldn't have to be, adjusting the links. That's the good news about, these NATO straps. All right, thanks for watching Rod's Random Reviews. If I did something wrong here, please comment below, because I'm learning by posting these things on YouTube. And you guys are teaching me more than I'm teaching you, perhaps. But we kind of learn from each other's mistakes. But there you have it, folks.